Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is April 20th, 2024, and tomorrow is the big day, the most important game in the season according to Xavi Hernandez, which is El Clasico. Also, Atletico Madrid are reportedly eyeing Ansu Fati, and finally Sevilla have inquired about Marc Guiu. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag, and if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you head to Bet Us. Both links for kit bag and Bet Us are down below in the description. Now let's dig right into the news because tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow is El Clasico day where Barcelona will travel to the Santiago Bernabeu in order to face off against Real Madrid. And as always, Xavi Hernandez did give a pre-match press conference where he called tomorrow's match the most important match of the season. Now, this is what the Barcelona coach had to say. Tomorrow, we have the chance to get back into La Liga. It happens to be the most important game of the season. We will find a strong Madrid, and even more so after eliminating the best team in the world, City. The euphoria will be sky high, and the opposition will be very strong. Today, we trained well. Yesterday, we had a Champions League hangover. The team has all the enthusiasm in the world to fight for this league. So Xavi Hernandez saying that tomorrow's match will be the most important one in the season because tomorrow could be a chance for Barcelona to make the race more intense, more exciting, to cut that distance between us and Real Madrid from 8 down to 5 points if Barcelona do win. And if that happens, that Barcelona could have a shot at the title. Now, Real Madrid will be, of course, coming off that huge win against Manchester City, eliminating Manchester City in the Champions League. But one thing that Barcelona do have in their favor is they do have an extra day of rest where Barcelona played on Tuesday, Real Madrid played on Wednesday. Also, Real Madrid did play 2 extra halves and had to go all the way to the penalty kicks. So hopefully that will play in our favor. Now, it is reported that tomorrow, Laporta will be attending the luncheon. As you might recall, when things got a little bit tense between both clubs, Florentino Perez refused to attend the luncheon, which is usually the norm. Before matches, the board of directors of both clubs that are meeting each other, they usually have a luncheon. Florentino Perez refused to attend the last luncheon when Real Madrid visited Barcelona. And despite Florentino Perez doing this, it's reported that Laporta has decided to attend the luncheon in tomorrow's match because he wants to show that, Barcelona are a big club, bigger than all the petty that's currently going on. And I think I do agree. I think it is a good look that Laporta is showing up. But I am curious to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know down below. Now, I do have some interesting news about the trainings, as some of you have complained before in the past. Usually, Xavi Hernandez used to employ these games during trainings where players would play, some tag games. They've seen some games where they carry each other on the back and they have to race and silly games like that. That's not necessarily related to the sport itself, but Xavi does it kind of to build this trust and good relationship between the players. I know some people complain about that. There's been a lot of reports that ever since the elimination at the hands of PSG, those games have not been played during trainings, which is something interesting. But I do want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about these games that the team used to play? Is this something that good? Is it something bad? I know, in my opinion, I think perhaps it is a good thing because one thing that Xavi Hernandez has done good since his arrival is to unify the locker room, a locker room that was fractured since Luis Enrique's departure. So since Xavi Hernandez has been successful in unifying the locker room, perhaps these games have been a part of it. But I know some of you have complained, and now that these games are not being played as of late, I am curious to hear what are you guys' thoughts about the games. Was it something that the team needs to keep doing? Was it silly? They need to stop. I am very curious, so let me know in the comment section. Now, speaking of the match tomorrow against Real Madrid, there has been a lot of complaints about the Santiago Bernabeu pitch. So some of you might know, one of the new features of the Santiago Bernabeu is the retractable pitch, where the pitch gets stored underground, and like it kind of gets divided into these little pieces that gets then stored underground, one over another, kind of like trays of pitch. And there's been a lot of complaints this season. The coach that most recently has complained about it was Pep Guardiola, where he said that the pitch was not even, and as a result, it affected the ball circulation of Manchester City. So we're gonna have to see whether that will affect Barcelona's game plan for tomorrow. There's also been complaints about the pitch being kind of like a muddish or more like a paste, because since it is stored underground, the grass stays wet, and then when it's brought up over ground, all that humidity makes the grass become more kind of like mud, where the grass lifts off easily, where the grass sticks to the player's boots. So there's been a lot of complaints about the Bernabeu pitch. It's reported that Real Madrid are still working, trying to fix it, but it's not being fixed. So we're going to have to wait and see whether that affects Barcelona tomorrow. Hopefully not, because again, if we do win tomorrow's match, then of course that is our chance to cut the distance between us and Real Madrid and stay alive in this race for La Liga title. Now, more news, because it's reported that Atletico de Madrid are now eyeing Ansu Fati. Now, Barcelona sent Ansu Fati to Brighton with the hopes that he can recover his form from before his injury. And even though he had a slow start at Brighton, right when things were starting to work out with Ansu Fati, unfortunately, he received another injury blow. And since then, once again, he's been unable to recover his form. So it looks like Ansu Fati will be leaving Brighton and coming back to Barcelona. And as I reported before, it looks like Barcelona have decided to offload Fati this summer, whether it's on a permanent basis or another loan. Barcelona doesn't seem to be counting on the academy graduate. And one team who is now interested is Atletico de Madrid, who have reportedly reached out to Ansu Fati and his entourage in order to see what their chances are of signing the player come this summer. Now, it's reported that the players' representatives have told Atletico Madrid that they are very flattered, but at the end of the day, it will be up to Barcelona. Now, Barcelona are now really not offloading Ansu Fati to any other club, because again, they don't count on the player. And it's reported that Ansu Fati's entourage would prefer the player to go to Sevilla, one of the clubs who are interested in him. Of course, there's also Wolves in the Premier League who are also interested in a player, but it seems that Ansu Fati would prefer to come back to La Liga. And as far as Atletico Madrid, even though the entourage is more in favor of Ansu going to Sevilla, it's reported that Ansu could be more in favor of going to Atletico Madrid, because at the end of the day, he wants to stay at a competitive club, a club that can compete for the Champions League and, big competitions. Of course, Atletico Madrid are more likely to compete in those competitions than a team like Sevilla. Plus, Atletico Madrid do have some players that Ansu Fati is familiar with, like Antoine Griezmann and Memphis Depay. So it seems that Ansu could be more in favor of going to Atletico, where his entourage are more in favor of him going to Sevilla, where his father does own a home. Now, speaking of Barcelona Academy players, it's reported that Sevilla, the ones who are interested in Ansu Fati, are also interested in Marc Guiu and have reportedly reached out to Barcelona to see what are their chances are of signing the youngster, whether it be on a permanent basis or on loan. Now, Barcelona are not interested in offloading Marc Guiu on a permanent basis. In fact, they are very happy with his performance, and they have already started working on extending the contract of the 18-year-old center forward. So as far as offloading him on a permanent basis, that's not going to happen. But there is the chance of Barcelona sending out Marc Guiu on a one-season loan so he can continue growing, developing, and then come back to the club a much more mature player. But of course, no decision has been made, and it's reported that the decision will be up to our sporting director, Deco, and our next coach, whoever it may be. So Deco and the next coach will decide whether Marc Guiu stays in Barcelona or whether he leaves. But again, if he does leave, it's only going to be on loan, because Barcelona are not interested in offloading Marc Guiu. And in fact, they have already began working on his contract renewal. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. There is another video coming up after this one, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. Also, please drop a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about tomorrow's match, about Atletico Madrid's interest in Ansu Fati, Sevilla's interest in Marc Guiu. And of course, I invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.